where
so
Twitter
we'll
was.
set that aside. Should he be taken down?
I was glad I was not a steward. I could make a case either way.
All right. There you go.
So what? You don't have an opinion?
Of course I have an opinion. I have lots of. First off, I hate the system. I want to hear Flavien defend his action. He does not appear ever to look over to the left, going to the spot he wants. He's like a person causing an accident on the Northway that drives off and the rubble is behind him. And he was like, what, me? So that's horrible. I would love to have him say, did you look over to the left to maybe see if there was a car there? No, I didn't. Well, that's on you. You're out. And they don't do the audio, which I despise. Because I want to find out the jockeys that are lying. That, I'm like, what did you see out there? Because you can't talk to people that think the sky's peach Melba. It's like, oh, I didn't see him there. Well, then your opinion is useless if you didn't see him. And the other thing is,
I do wish they would be like they do in
audio,
other jurisdictions around the world.
Now here's my favorite part. Ready for this?
Go for it.
On the run out, Javier runs right by him, and it does not appear as if he looked over and said anything. But because he put Javier in an awful bad spot. As a matter of a profession, not the gambling aspect, he put Javier in an awful spot. On the run out, on the turn, if you watch the race, you could see he runs by Zulu Kingdom with the Saratoga runner. And I don't know if he was, he got French and he got Spanish. But he didn't look over, just as Flavien didn't look over when he dropped over. So to me, you have to come down because you did an unprofessional move. It's like a car. You don't put the directional on and you drop over. Just because the other guy avoids a horrific accident doesn't mean you're okay. I'll be honest with you. He gets days. He put him in an awful spot professionally, and then he puts another runner in a bad spot because when the car cuts you off and you try and get out of the way, you hit car C. It's a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, well, as I say, he's in the two path, and there are two horses there, and he's not.
And I'll tell you one thing: the still photo, I don't think does it justice because Javier's horse, the Saratoga runner, was like completely discombobulated.
Yeah, went into the fence.
Well, that was the West Point runner went into the fence, right?
Yeah.
Javier was the Saratoga runner. Look at his horse's actions,
yeah, the front legs. Yeah.
And I'll say this about people talk about margin and everything. Horse pucky to that. You see horses make a minor stumble at the start and their cadence is off for the whole race. They're never in it. So to me, it doesn't matter that it's on the open chain. Oh, he's got that's not how it works. He took the horse, they're horses. He might have gotten scared. And it's like, I'm not, that was terrible. But to me, you ask Flavien, did you look over to see if you were clear? If he says yes, I don't think he's telling the truth, or he's blind and he's got to take a test. Or he could say, I thought I was clear. Well, now you're wrong and you got to come down. And like I said, I'd like to ask Javier, how nervous were you there for that couple of seconds? I think I have a problem.
Yeah.
And then you ask the other runner, what the heck happened to my space? So to me, I think here's the other thing. I let my RPMs go down to about 4,000. It's like life. You have to set a tone. Stewards have to set a tone, and that's why I think if you got days, you'd be like, this behavior is not acceptable.
Well, I don't know. We don't know that he will possibly get there.
I see that all the time.
That's still to be determined.
How often they get days here? I'm 0 for about 11. The jockeys I thought should have got days that came up with no days. But they in life, you have a manager or a boss, a steward to them, bring him in the room and say, this is not acceptable. I think that's one of the major gripes, that non-knee-jerk reaction people have. There doesn't seem to be consistency. There doesn't seem to be hard and fast rules ahead of time. Like, listen, if it's on the first turn and you cut somebody off, you're coming down. You have the herding in the stretch that's become popular. I'm like, I've always said if I was a steward, and I don't think the job is as hard as people make it out to be, is I give you one bump at the top of the stretch. It's an 1,100-pound animal. You get one bump. After that, you're on the clock. If you come back at him again.
The herding thing, I'm not giving any bumps.
No, the herding is out.
Because that to me, the herding, there are times when.
And the rule is you're supposed to keep a straight line in the stretch.
They go out 5 paths and they don't
Maybe it's
bump.
not a rule.
And,
no, but that's right.
And then you do bump and something
happens.
That's so you're
that's
essentially
what going to say. I didn't hit him. That doesn't matter.
I heard that yesterday too.
They
never made contact.
That's like the car on the Northway that caused the accident
to the jockeys, if you want to, get a result,
this was the wrong day coming into 13 races to have this situation.
Yeah, it was.
But just a quick note on the other, because that's easy to me. But and I'm sure.
And again, clearly you agree as well. People saying the worst is I could see the case.
I'll tell you one thing: if they hadn't taken,
they hadn't been around for Alamoose.
That's the killer. Which, by the way, that's very interesting. You say that. Why is it interesting? You said that.
Why is it interesting? I said that.
Whitney Day.
Oh, was it Whitney Day? Oh, that is funny.
Did I sound like I had hesitation in my voice? You remember the horse they put up?
Wasn't it? No, I was gonna. No, I don't.
Festivity.
Okay.
Silks were?
That I have no
Harborview Farm. Winner of the Whitney that day?
The Firm?
You're about 8 years off. Lady's Secret.
Oh, okay. All right.
But that was look that up. I can't spell it for you, but look, that's the all-time worst. But I will say this. For me, the way I see things, not taking down would have been one of the all-time bad not takedowns. You can't cause that on the racetrack.
Okay. Yeah, no, clearly you're firmly in one camp, and I completely see the argument. As I say, there wasn't room there. But then, the rule is that it costs a position, and you're kind of looking in the crystal ball. Yeah. But your argument is perfectly fair.
Yeah, cost him any chance to run his race. Yeah. That's the argument.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And I'll tell you what. Here's an example. So say Saratoga, and I apologize, folks, for because I see silks, and that kind of works better for me visually. Even if he had won,
Tiz Dashing
had won the race, which then the argument goes away. He couldn't have improved his position, and Zulu Kingdom ran second. I think Zulu Kingdom has to come down, even though the rules are you have to go behind the runner you finish in front of. If you cause a foul in the race, you have to pay a penalty. That's the nature of having a foul. It'd be like in basketball, like I foul you, but you made the shot. Oh, the foul doesn't count. But to me, and that's where we live. But I'll tell you, I will say this, Seth. I've said it before, and our son's going to college, and college is going to cost less than high school. I don't think I am going to go on that pick 5, $10,000 to earn $12,000, a 20% return after seeing that I would be up against people chasing 7-2. I think I have no interest in that anymore.
Yeah, no, that was.
You want to play a game where they're playing that game and they directly affect, because the pick 5, it's just like the old pick 6. How many times am I chopping it up? Well, I'm going to be chopping it up a lot with people paying that. So
108,000 into it. Sheesh.
And they got those bets in about 15 seconds?
You would assume.
Nobody that ever went to a window and called out a ticket would assume you could bet $108,000 worth of tickets in 15 seconds.
And the first wave from Steve Anderson was just that basic information.
Couldn't get the answer.
Then he got the second wave, which was it was thousands and thousands of tickets of different combinations. So yeah, you're not walking up to the window and doing that. There's no question about it. All right, let me hit you with promos and events here coming up at Capital OTB today. Clubhouse Racebook King of the Hill contest. See if you can get crowned King of the Hill and get a little extra money at the Clubhouse Racebook this afternoon, 711 Central Avenue in Albany. Don't forget also the bounty bet returns today. Late pick 5 at Saratoga. Nice little bounty to shoot for there, over $1,000 if you're the lone winner amongst people playing Capital OTB Bet. So again, play with your account. You have a shot at that bounty. And then tomorrow at the Clubhouse Racebook Knockout Challenge. Have some extra fun at the Racebook Sunday afternoon with the Knockout Challenge. All of that coming up. You can keep up with promos and events at the website, of course.
And lastly, so Luther goes in that small group of people. He's not the injured party. He's the lucky guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luther's like, thanks. Thanks. Because what would you say? 74 out of 75 times the winner put up is in the mix. It's very, rare that he's an outside. I think somebody got put up in the Pacific Classic years ago that wasn't part of the Big Bang. I think he was the second place horse, and the first and third place horse were battling it out. And look at me out in the 5-path. I'm the winner. So Luther gets put up, and
Luther was in the mix, though, right? Wasn't Luther the horse on the rail?
Yes, but the DQ is against Javier.
Well, no. It was the objection came up for both of them.
Yes, because I have to claim foul because he put me into the rail, but now we got to find A cause B cause C. It's like, okay, right? I mean, that's the idea.
Yeah.
I mean, Javier
can't
get days or get taken down. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, no.
I almost lost my life.
Yeah. It was definitely, as I say, made some noise on social media yesterday. And again, I
imagine if it wasn't social media, where would it make noise anymore?
Well, it was covered in the recaps, certainly, of the race. But.
All right. Here we go. Great card. And it's.
Oh, do we have the DePaula play?
We have the DePaula play of the day. Yes, we do on Whitney Day.
And they're off. Chevrolet, Mazda, and Ford right now at the DePaula Auto Group. Take off the savings you need on the vehicle that you want. New cars, trucks, SUVs, hybrids, and all electric. Delivered with DePaula savings. And the DePaula Auto Group has hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Remember, DePaula can service any make and model and has over 100 service bays. So buy DePaula. Think DePaula for all of your automotive needs. DePaula Auto Group. Chevrolet, Mazda, Ford, and pre-owned. DePaula.com.
Hello, everybody. Kevin Cox, the Brooklyn Cowboy, here with your DePaula Play of the Day for Capital O TV from beautiful Saratoga Race Course on Whitney Day. And not just Whitney Day, but we also have the Fourstar Dave Stakes today. And there's a picture of him with a commemorative pin. And the Test Stakes. And that was the greatest race we've ever seen up here. 2002 with you and Carson Hollow. We put links to both of those in our column today. So over your morning cup of coffee, recommend you check it out for a little bit of pleasure. We've been giving you our plays of the days on Fridays and Saturdays throughout the meet. And we're at the halfway point just now. And after showing a flat bet profit in the first 3 years in doing this, we're just about even thus far this summer. In a card with plenty of solid betting opportunities, we're going to land on a 15-1 shot that we feel is a bit of an overlay on the morning line. Race 5, number 11, Contorted. This Bay Boy comes in today off a lifetime best Figaro when finishing a well-clear second down at the P-Patch on the 5th of July, and did such from an outside-ish slot as well. Jockey-trainer combination positively killed it together, and there was a strong DRF formulated statistic in play as well. Over the last 260 weeks, Tom Amos is a whopping 14 for 28 with female maiden special weight dirt dashers at 23-1 or less, off breaks of 16 to 31 days. There's a positive ROI with that type and a subcategory of 2 for 3 right here in Toga Town. So once again, our Capital OTB DePaula Play of the Day for Saratoga is in race 5, number 11, Contorted. Have a wonderful day out there. Do not drink and drive. Definitely don't do that because the cops will be out there this weekend. We'll see you at the track.
And they're off. Chevrolet, Mazda, and Ford right now at the DePaula Auto Group. Take off the savings you need on the vehicle that you want. New cars, trucks, SUVs, hybrids, and all electric. Delivered with DePaula savings. And the DePaula Auto Group has hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Remember, DePaula can service any make and model and has over 100 service bays. So buy DePaula. Think DePaula for all of your automotive needs. DePaula Auto Group. Chevrolet, Mazda, Ford, and pre-owned. DePaula.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The opener.
Well, because we were talking about during the break, and we never really explained. And again, it was a long time ago that Ali Moose DQ. For folks who weren't around then, they disqualified the wrong horse.
A horse not involved in the incident. And I will say this: one of the jockeys involved in it has claimed to me that they told the stewards it wasn't Jose Santos.
So it's hard to come up with a worse scenario than that. But again,
and by the way,
mid-80s for that one, so it's been 86. A while. But,
and if you look up, Festivities has a 2 next to the name, not a 1.
Oh, that's
because they literally fixed it like that day. They came in the press box and said they redistributed. The only people that got hosed.
Yeah, they didn't change the results.
Russ Harris used to always say on Inside Racing on Tuesdays, hold on to your mutual tickets. Well, Russ, I think 39 years later, we can get rid of the tickets. All right, the opener, these special baby races going 6.5.
3-1 entry, 8 and 5 for me. I'm going to put Criteria on top. It's Chad, it's Klarovich. I'm always attracted to these runners, debut runners up here at Saratoga, but you have Yaupan on top. Again, off to a great start to the career with 21 first-time starters, 6 wins, 6 seconds, 2/3. And I looked up the stat. I don't have it here on this page. And this number is probably a few days old. It may be better now. But it was, I think the overall stats for Yaupan were 24 with 9 winners, meaning that his second-time starters are undefeated at this point, which I thought was interesting as well.
I just want to interject. This is one of the problems I have with stats. So he has 3 runners in here. And if one of them wins, he almost gets hurt by the stats because he's enforcing 2 losers. I've often thought with baby races, like Yaupan should be represented by only 1.
Or have an asterisk maybe in the.
We had 6 in that field. I had 5 losers.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Very good point. But regardless of how many entrants have overlapped, he has great numbers. So Chad Brown with the good numbers. The Dam has produced a sibling called Quirky Ride that won in the second start. So win early all over. I'll go with Criteria on top. Second spot, I'm going to go with the entry, Abrogado and Ted Nofi. One's trained by Brad Cox. One's trained by Todd Pletcher. Very nice. Abrogado, there's a sibling called Lollipop Gumdrop, won in the second start. Same scenario for Ted Noffey, has a sibling fully authorized, one in the second start. So nature and nurture win early with the breeding and with the conditioners. And then Whiskey Point in the third spot. This one's kind of interesting. Steve Asmussen runner, a New York bred, but a New York bred by Yaupan. So I thought this one also had a very good opportunity to
that condition must have disappeared.
Here. I'm thinking it because you look and it's not there. So for me in the opener, 3 at the 1 entry, 8 and 5.
We have 6 of the 8 betting interests covered. I'm just guessing. I took a guy who's going to get, without any question in my mind, lost in the shuffle. Is Ambassador Blue, who's 15-1 for Danny Gargan. But I couldn't make, the rest of them. The 2, the 3, the 6. I mean, these are head knockers. There's one out. There's a race like this at Del Mar tomorrow. Where the stars seem to have aligned. But I just wanted to go for a big price. I have an offspring of Charlatan. The connections are not, known for playing in these deeper waters with debut runners. So I'm 4-7-6.
Charlatan, pretty good. 2 winners and 8 first-time starters so far. So it'll be worth watching as well. Second race today. And again, big days. There's always some 2-year-old races up here at Saratoga that are potent, and I think that first race demonstrated it. We have more 2-year-olds in race number 2, maiden specials, mile and a 16th on the grass.
5-6-1 for me and Capital Partner and offspring of Kingman, scheduled to make the debut today. Chad Klarovich, Flavor Flay, British Invasion, who scratched out earlier in the meet, and offspring of Lupa de Vega, who was an outstanding sire, has shipped horses. Has sired horses that do well in American racing. And then Sunrise Caracanti is a runner for Todd Pletcher on debut, inside, 10-1 on the morning line. Just a tough 10-horse main body field. I'm 5-6-1. We actually agreed pretty much here in a lot of ways.
I have this one as my dark horse play of the day. 1, 5, 4, and 3. I put Sunrise on top. we'll see if the morning line holds up, because somehow, again, I seem to find with the dark horse horses that take some action, and I think this one potentially will. We ran second again with our dark horse yesterday. I thought we had a good position about mid-stretch, but just couldn't get it done. But it was a good second there to a shorter priced horse. But Sunrise today is the dark horse play by Caracante. I like Caracante runners as win early types overall with first-time starting 2-year-olds, 96 of them, 17, 17, and 9 is the record. So 34 exactas in 96 first-time starts for Caracante. More importantly, though, the dam has produced 7 siblings. 4 of them won their career debut. Now, one of them did it by DQ, but still very solid numbers for the dam, as well as producing win early types. It's a Pletcher runner, Jose Ortiz on board. I thought there was a lot to like here. So for me, the dark horse play today, race number 2, horse number 1, Sunrise, brought to you by the Dark Horse Mercantile and Impressions of Saratoga, both on Broadway and downtown. Capital partner, it's Chad and Klarovich, sibling called Euphoric, won in the career debut in Europe. And Prodigious is a sibling to Emmanuel, a nice runner from a couple of years ago that won the first 2 starts of the career. I have it 1, 5, 4, and 3.
Some of my DQs are after the fact, so that has a special column for me.
Oh.
The ones who 120 days later just qualified for that. On to the third, and I put on horse racing Twitter earlier because this race doesn't really, how can I put this, affect any family or anything. I thought this is the race they should have renamed for Wayne.
Oh,
because it wouldn't be pushing anybody out. 2-year-olds was.
Yeah.
You know, he reinvented the game for 2-year-olds at Saratoga. And I put on that the Saratoga Special would be the race that I would give him, because there's no injured party, I felt.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And I also like what they're doing. The second race every day, I think they have to bring a couple of kids into the winner circle, kind of in remembrance of Wayne Lucas and his doing that. Yeah.
So it's the Saratoga Special, going 6.5.
6, 1, and 2 for me. I debated because Ewing looked so good in debut. I could see tilting there, certainly, but Obliteration in the first 2 starts has just looked phenomenal. That's a maiden special and the Sanford. So already has a stakes win under the belt. Did it in fine fashion. Stretches out a little further today. I don't think it's going to be an obstacle, though, given what we saw in the first 2 starts. So I'll land there. But I think Ewing, is legitimate. You know, obviously gets tested here in the second start, but boy, looked very good in debut. And Comport for Eddie Keneally off a couple of nice starts and a stakes placing last time down at Churchill, I think bodes well. Short field, but it'll be interesting. 6, 1, and 2.
And that was my error. The guys did the right job. It was supposed to be 2, 1, 6 here. A couple of things that just where the money is going to fall here, how much horses change dramatically with in their youth. I like the extra race that Comport has. He's going to be a solid price here because, as you said, Seth, his buyer numbers to date don't stack up. But, you know, Ewing, I expect a regression. It's just something that I see. And the reason I bring it up is, you know, a regression at 10, you're getting a bad price. And I think there's a regression in line. Obliteration, I kind of feel the same way. And also because the races are run almost differently because you're running against better horses. You kind of don't get to speed dominate the field. So I think it's on balance a very good race. So I had to take a price, 2-1-6.
All right, we'll head to our first break. When we come back, more of a look at Whitney Saturday at Saratoga. Stay tuned.
For more than 4 generations, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued the 103-year tradition of delighting their local following and faithful summer crowd with the finest authentic Italian recipes. Classic Italian dishes made with the freshest ingredients, served in a home-like setting. Some things have changed in the last 103 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
The only thing better than watching the races is watching your own racehorse. With nearly 20 years experience in the racing industry, Bonaventure Stables' share-based ownership program enables everyday fans to become part owner of a thoroughbred for far less than you might think, with all the ownership perks at Saratoga, Belmont, Aqueduct, and other great tracks. Experience the thrill and lifestyle of owning your own thoroughbred racehorse. Learn more at bonaventurestables.com.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
Welcome back to the Handicappers Report on a beautiful Saratoga Whitney morning. We'll kick things back into gear. Race number 4, optional claimer, non-winners at 2, 5.5 on the grass.
Wide open, as it should be today. I'm 10-5-4. Final verdict. Verdict, one of my favorite Paul Newman movies. Another time
that was a good movie.
Another time he didn't win an Academy Award, and then he won for an awful performance.
Wasn't he like an alcoholic lawyer,
yes.
Right? Yeah, down and out. And then
who is the most famous extra in the movie?
That I don't know.
Bruce Willis.
Oh, wow.
In the courtroom scene.
Was Charlotte Rampling the other?
I don't know.
No, Glenn Close, maybe.
No, not Glenn Close.
No?
I mean, I know. I can pick out James Mason's role was excellent in it. Jack Warden, it's just a dynamite.
Oh, Jack Warden is his buddy.
His buddy.
Yeah. His like second in command. Yeah, that's right.
I know what you said. You know, when am I going to? But not now. He wants him to get back in the fight, but he doesn't want this fight.
Yeah.
So final verdict is on the outside. It's a very contentious race. I'm anticipating a good trip here. I'm in position to run just about the buyer par to win this race. And I think 4.5 to 1 in this field, I wouldn't want to take much lower because I think there's at least 6 live in this race. And that's how I see it. Run, Curtis, run. Mike Maker's runner. He's in the mix. Another horse making the 4th start. I'm anticipating a really big effort and then clear the air. So 10-5-4 and a head knocker.
I have a 5-1-4-3, and the 10 literally just missed my mix. I could have used the 10 very easily, but Run Curtis Run on top for me. Nice little New York bred that can go out and face open company. Last time was in a New York bred stake. Downstate, ran a decent 3rd, did it with a number that's going to mix it up with this group. Twisted Filigree in the 2nd spot. George Weaver, trainee. Also a New York bred, but also a horse that can bounce back and forth amongst open company and prove that back on July 5th, winning a similar race last time right here at Saratoga. And so why not right back again with a good effort and clear the air comes in off a 6th place finish down at Churchill, but a nice win before that. The number went backwards last time, but you look at the races 2 and 3 back, if we can get to either of those, and I don't think it's out of the question. And I should say, finished behind No Balls last time, very talented turf sprinter. So I could see a rebound coming, clear the air in the 3rd spot, 5-1-4-3.
On to the 5th, 3-year rolls it up. Billy Zamaris, maiden special weights, going 7.
Top of the page, I've written wide open, and I land on Endorse here, but tepidly. Endorse, I have it 9-2-4-8. Endorse is a sibling to Jace's Road. That one won its career debut. This one ran okay in debut, and then went off the favorite, short price favorite that day. Followed up as the favorite and stumbled and lost to Jockey. So you draw a line through that one. Again, off the debut effort, I think this horse with the breeding is very dangerous in here for Todd Pletcher. My Sharona in the 2nd spot, been stuck in the bridesmaid mode in 3 starts so far. 3 second-place finishes, but all very, very good efforts. I think the horse will be right in the thick of things again today. And Lost and Found off a couple of second-place finishes, one back in December, and then laid off from that until a June return. And as I think often, one of those horses lightly raced as a 2-year-old, got a little time off and came back with an improved effort. It was still a second-place finish, but the number went forward notably, and I think that bodes well for today. Also, 9, 2, 4, and 8.
And you got the Not This Time leading Into Mischief by 1. You got the $2.3 million Into Mischief from the rail. I am 9-1-7. I like Endorse. Also, I thought it was really telling that after a 7 furlong debut, which is tough, hits the board behind a good winner, then tries 9 furlongs. And I mean, obviously the results are immaterial, but that's a pretty big, I got my foundation race. Now I can go 9. I don't know which is tougher, debuting at 7/8 or, your second start going 9. So that tells me they think highly of Endorse. I'm in. And then on the, from the rail, I met Farda is, the Todd Pletcher runner for Shadwell, the offspring of Into Mischief that went for $2.3 million, and then Delightful Claire. So 9-1-7, and the 4 scares me.
I didn't use the 1,
I
but
see
there are
that.
plenty of good-looking siblings. And if the board lights up for this one,
Well,
but 2.3
David Sharp
debuting in August of the 3-year-old
is
season.
right.
I was,
and David has 6-1, and David was right on Mercy Warren. The general public made Mercy Warren the second choice, which we kind of felt that 9-5 on Mercy Warren. I think it was 9-5 was too low, but Mercy Warren was the best horse in the race.
Yeah.
And they knew about the Tom Amis horse in the opener.
Oh yeah. Sometimes they know, and they knew. 6th race at Saratoga, maiden specials going 3/4 of a
45
mile.
years of full time. I've only been told 4 times that they knew I was part of the they, and not one time did they pay any money. So they told a lot of people. 6-2-8 final accord. My top pick. Some workouts down at Ellis. Mark Cassie comes up here to debut. That seems to be voluntary. You're in Kentucky. They're running, but you got those workouts 3 and 4 back that I like. Cadenza from the rail, the number 2 horse for Brad Cox. And then Immaculate Moon, the 8. Boy, you see 4 out of 5 bullets, but David has this offspring of Mackenzie at 10-1. Another Danny Gargan firster. I have him in the opener. 6-2-8.
I went 2, the 1 entry, 4 and 8. Cadenza. There's just win early siblings all over here. Starlight Stroll won the career debut, as did Smuggler's Run. Personal Pursuit won the second start. Been Studying Her won 3 of the first 4. There's a couple of Sneaking Out won 4 of the first 5. Brad Cox trainee, I mentioned earlier, Charlatan off to an okay start that makes it worth looking at his firsters. So I'll put Cadenza on top. Second spot, I have the entry. Steer Clear has some win early, a couple of siblings, 4 left. And Sting Like Abbey both won the first 2 starts of their career. I think that's notable. And Solemn Vow is a sibling to Batford's Prince of Monaco. That one won the first 3 starts of the career, including 2 graded stakes. So Solemn Vow is live. Ornelia, if I came close. There's only a couple of sibs, but a couple of siblings to race, but both of them won in their second career start, and it's Chad Brown. This race seems to be loaded to me. I have it 2, the 1 entry, 4 and 8.
And when I go home today, my wife will say, sometimes you walk into the kitchen, you don't know why, but you know the silks of a put-up horse 39 years ago without any hesitation. Go figure. We'll be right back.
It only takes one upset to make history, and now you can be part of Saratoga's long tradition at the Dark Horse Mercantile. The Dark Horse Mercantile offers a carefully curated selection of clothing, gifts, and home decor, from one-of-a-kind vintage racing memorabilia to select brands like Barber and Under Armour, as well as exclusive Dark Horse branded merchandise. So celebrate the Dark Horse in all of us at the Dark Horse Mercantile, downtown Saratoga, where the smart bet is always the Dark Horse.
A day at the track isn't complete without a night at the Horseshoe. Great food, hot music, and cold drinks. So why go downtown when all the action's just across from the track? The Horseshoe Inn at the corner of Nelson and Gridley.
You like free money? Well, Capital OTB gives its players plenty of opportunities to cash in. At Capital OTB, there are so many ways for horse players to receive bonus dollars by simply participating in promotions such as our bankrolls, bounty bets, online handicapping contests, and much, much more. Plus, with Capital OTB's Player Rewards program, you get actual cash back. So what are you waiting for? Log on today at CapitalOTB.com or CapitalOTBBet.com and claim your free money.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Oops, my bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Seventh race, 7 furlongs.
I can relate to walking into the kitchen and not remembering why I went in. I can't relate to coming up with the silks for winners 40 years ago, though. So I'm missing in both categories.
And I'm not so sure, like, that's a compliment. Like, my wife will not say it as if it's a compliment that you remember the silks. It will be a pejorative.
11, 5, 13, and 1 for me. I'm going to put credit worthy on top. Chad Brown and Klarovich, lightly raced, but certainly showing some talent so far. A couple of nice wins in 4 starts, a second and a third. So not hard to knock what we've seen so far. Third start back this season. There are things to like. I'll put credit worthy on top. Second spot, Dilger. Tried Stakes Company in the past couple of starts, and in the Carter ran an okay third. Then kind of faltered at the big drama down at Gulfstream. But I think Safi Joseph electing to come up to Saratoga and, jump into a spot like this off of that 6th and the big drama, I think that's saying, I expect a performance more like what we saw 2, 3, 4 starts back. And then in the third spot, I have 13, Jefferson Street. Hasn't been seen since last year. That's the concern. But I do think the Mott runner is going to be dangerous if ready, and it's Bill Mott, so I'd expect the horse to run well. I have it 11, 5, 13, and 1.
I've done approximately 4,000 handicappers report. I don't think this has ever happened. All my picks are 10 to 1 on the morning line.
Oh, man.
7, 3, 1. I think it's a wide open race. Like I just said, I mean, there's 3 10 to 1 shots that I think are in the mix. There's 15 to 1. Credit worthy, takes on this level for the first time, but I was just taking Speakeasy, who, throwing out the Alan Jerkins. He's run good races his entire career. Beaten favorite in the last. That was at Keeneland. 7, 3, 1.
Race number 8 today. Back to stakes action with the Fourstar Dave Grade 1 event. And another one of those that if you're new to the game, go back and look up Fourstar Dave and what he did up here at Saratoga and pull up some of his races as well. Fourstar Dave, though, Grade 1 event. $750,000. They'll go a mile on the grass.
I'll be interested to see what you. It's a great race. I mean, this is terrific. I'm 5-7-4 because I think this is a very deep race in here, and win for the money. Mark Cassie's runner, strong effort down in the Pegasus World Cup, the turf race. Laid off and came back in the Kelso at the Independence Day. I think that's a very nice tightener for this race. Win for the money. For second, Spirit of St. Louis, a big price here that you don't usually get on this runner of late, comes out of the Manhattan. Now remember, they shortened the Manhattan up, right? I think the year before they ran at 1 mile and 3/16. Then they ran at 1 mile and 8. So now we're at 1 mile. And then Think Big. I mean, if 6 to 1 has got to look very attractive to those who have Think Big at a better place than me. But 5-7-4.
3, 6, 8, and 4. And if you look at my page, you can see I have redone the numbers on the top 3. I had all of the top 3 in the top spot at one time or another, and I kept going back and forth. But I wound up on Johans, who just has been kind of a superstar out on the West Coast. 13 starts and 8 wins so far. They come east with them, but they come east having not run since December 26th, winning the San Gabriel. So I was concerned about the layup, but boy, you look at those works. I think the horse is going to be fit enough to contend in here. So I went there, but again, with trepidation is I went back and forth. Intellect for Chad Brown comes in off a couple of second place finishes. This is a European import who has yet to break through in the 3 starts here on the win side, but has certainly run well for potent connections. And again, I had Deterministic higher in the mix and went back and forth off the nice win closing day that Belmont Stakes weekend in the rescheduled Manhattan. It was a really nice looking win on the front end. Now they cut back a little. But yeah, we have that many because I could point to almost everybody in here and make some kind of case. Cagino for our friends at West Point, I think, is live. My boy Prince, who ran well last year up in Woodbine for Marquette. Yeah, it's a fun race, as you say, 3, 6, 8, and 4.
And the 9th is 3-year-olds in the Saratoga Derby running for $750. I think the Hall of Fame took a $100,000 haircut for the purse yesterday. For $350,000 more, you didn't want to take a step at a mile and 3/16? Okay.
Well, it's the Envy, so maybe you didn't get an invitation.
I'm very skeptical of that.
I think if you whisper that you'd like, I would like an invitation.
I'm pretty sure Zulu Kingdom could have got an invitation.
Yeah. 5, 6, 7, and 9. Test score on top. The Grand Motion Runner won the first leg of this series in New York on the turf for the 3-year-olds. The Belmont Derby, that was right up here at Saratoga, going a mile and an eighth. So a similar race, a little bit further, but I don't think it's going to be an obstacle. Test score on top. Second slot, New Century, going out for Brendan Walsh. Irad Ortiz on board. European import that has shown a little life here in the United States. Ran 5th in that Belmont Derby, but before that ran 3rd in the American Turf down at Churchill. I think the horse is good enough to be in the mix here at maybe a little bit of a price. And then Hot as Hell coming in from Europe and has a Group 1 win in Europe at the towards the end of last fall, has a couple of starts under the belt over in Ireland and Great Britain. I think it's going to be set up to run well today. I have it 5, 6, 7, and 9.
Boy, 7-5 on the 7, first time United States. I just can't go there. You didn't either. I actually have them higher than you. But I think New Century is primed to run a big effort coming off of the Independence Day race. It was, second time in the United States, which I typically don't like, the regression. Then I have Hazael. It did win a Group 1, but that was as a 2-year-old. And then World Beater, Oscar Performance Offspring, has already won a stakes race. I think he's a player in here. 6, 7, 9.
Do you agree it's changed for me over the last 10 years or so? It used to be a European turfer coming over. You'd automatically jump on board. Now I'm not quite as enamored with them typically.
I agree. They used to be, they were just lawnmowers.
Yeah, they were kind of monsters, it seemed like it used to be.
I agree with that.
And I don't know why that is, other than I think, our turf runners have. And also I will note, folks like Chad Brown go over and buy horses over there now and bring them back. So that
and
may
it
play
also
into
seems
it as well.
as if over the last 15, 20 years that their purse structure has gotten much better for owners. That's what I think made the Arlington
That's a good
apart.
point. Yeah, that's a very good. You're right, because their big days did not stack up to our big days for a long time. 10th race today, the Test, one of my favorite races every year. Grade 1 event, $500,000 for the 3-year-old fillies going 7.
The race goes to Echo Sound. I mentioned on the Independence Day that I thought the track was not yielding, the dirt track was not yielding fast times, and her performance was a fast race. So I was like, this would be the 3rd start of the year. She's had nearly a month layoff, but I went 3-6-2 here. Look forward to Sharp Works. Comes in here for Mike McCarthy, went back to California after the Acorn. I'm just taking a shot in here. And I thought maybe when the running got deep late, I might be able to beat Echo Sound and then kill win for 3rd. But 3-6-2 in the Test.
6, 1, 8, and 4. I couldn't get past Echo Sound. I mean, that 101 buyer kind of stands out. And so if we get back to the prior numbers, maybe this horse is a little more in the mix with some of the others. So you could go one way or the other. I'm thinking
I saw what you did there. Deborah Harry movie, one way or another. I saw that. See, we're about the same age, so I can get a 1979.
I didn't. I remember the song. I don't remember the movie.
One way.
Yeah, there you go. But it was just a performance that to me says maybe has, kind of gotten better now. That's what I'm hoping for. I'll put that one on top. But Ragtime from Phil Mott, I think is going to be very interesting. Third career start, steps into stakes company, and comes off 2 really nice and improving wins. I think she deserves this shot and could be very tough. And Beauty reigns in the 3rd spot, ran 2nd in the victory ride behind Echo Sound. Cash Call is interesting. Your Horse, again, another fun stake on the day. For me, 6-1, 8-4.
All right, we'll take our final break. When we come back, the last pick 3.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
For more than 4 generations, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued the 103-year tradition of delighting their local following and faithful summer crowd with the finest authentic Italian recipes. Classic Italian dishes made with the freshest ingredients, served in a home-like setting. Some things have changed in the last 103 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
Sometimes it pays to go with the flow, to check your worries at the door, to reconnect with your crew, to follow the thrills and the flavor, to roll with it and see where it takes you, to enjoy every minute to its fullest, and to dance like there's no tomorrow. You can do that here at Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady, where the good times flow.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The $1 million Whitney.
I put Fierceness on top. I'm going to be interested to see how the betting shakes out, and then just interested to see the running of the race. 9, 5, 7, and 1. I think 1's coming out. I think Todd Pletcher's made it clear that they've entered mind frame in case something comes up with Fierceness. That was a brain freeze on
my part.
So I have it 9,
I have
5,
to tell you, I thought he'd be good in here.
Yeah, no, I have it 9, 5, 7, and 1. And if the 1 doesn't get in, I'll pull Skippy Longstocking in. Again, the 1's a likely scratch. Fierceness, though, I go back to the Travers last year in particular, but this horse has run very well over this track. Ran 2nd in the Met Mile last time behind Raging Torrent, who ran lights out that day. I think Fierceness is going to be a real player in here, getting back to that form we saw last year in the Travers over this track. 2nd spot, Sierra Leone, who was 3rd in the Travers last year, but notably won the Breeders' Cup Classic with a 112 buyer. Hasn't quite lived up to that in the first couple starts of the season, but I won't be shocked by a good effort today. White Barrio, I think this horse is better than the Met Mile. You look at the first 2 starts of the season, the Pegasus World Cup and the Ghost Zapper, and I think we'll get back closer to one of those efforts, which is going to put White Barrio in the mix. Skippy Longstocking on a best effort, also a player. Although I heard Safi Joseph is using this race as a prep for the Charlestown Classic, because they went the same route last year and won the Charlestown Classic for a decent amount of money.
Saratoga prep race
for Charlestown. 9, 5, 7, and 1.
I had a brain. I understand why they're not doing it, but mind frame different should be in this race. I mean, he's
well, they're aiming for the Jockey Club Gold Cup, so they're looking for another big Saratoga race.
9-3. I changed it to the 5 Sierra Leone. I am, even if Highland Falls runs his career best, I'm not sure that it's good enough, but he's going to be a big price. Fearless is, I have him 2nd, and I will say this: he's a 9-5 shot in a deep race. I have 7 of the 10 in here are legitimate contenders. I have 3 outsiders, but Fearless is one of the few 9-5 shots that I could almost put on top and almost bet on, because he's so good here. And then I have Sierra Leone instead of Mind Frame for 3rd, but I have 7 of the 10 live. I'm not even so sure my top pick, going up. I said it in completely wrong, because it says 9-3-1. But you can see, Seth can see that the 3 is my top pick. So that's my complete mistake there. In my heart of hearts, it's 3, 9, and 5 for that. So that's all my fault. And it's just a reach. This is an absolute reach. I like my Danny Gargan at 10-1, 15-1 in the first race. ability to win the race more
So
than
3 is your top pick.
Yeah, 3 is my top
Okay.
pick.
I will say I saw our friend Sully over on the front side yesterday, who used to be in here handicapping with us. He also likes the 3. So.
Yeah, I mean, but, even if he runs his eyeballs out, I'm not so sure it's good enough.
Yeah. 12 allowance non-winners and one other than 5.5 on the grass.
Boy, love this race. 9-3-5, taking the 9, third start in the United States. Linda Rice adding blinkers. We got a little giddy up. We're on the outside. You're going to have to use it. You don't get horses more consistent via the Beyer speed figures than number 3, La Salvadorina, who has run between a 74 and 79 in 7 starts, and Oscar Performance, who hits the runner-up often, and then Master of the Tunes on the outside, making the seasonal debut, 9-3-11.
3-2, 12, and 5. I do like La Salvadorina on top. Stuck in the bridal party a little bit. Broke the maiden 4 starts back and then a third in a couple seconds. But I think is well suited in with this group. Perfect figure. Wesley Ward, Frankie Dettori, lightly raced overall. But again, I think is a good fit with this group. And then went to the outside. Leslie's Humor for Chad Brown, I think, can be a player as well in the seasonal debut. 3, 2, 12, and 5.
In the finale, approximately 6:49, 3-year-olds on the inner. Maiden special weights, 8.5.
2, 4, 7, and 10. Put Peak Hype on top. Chad Brown runner for E5 and comes out of a 6th place finish in the debut effort back on July 3rd. I think that bodes well for a good effort today. Should have put some fitness in, was a little ranked that day, so maybe got some education. We'll put Peak Hype on top. Magnum's Microburst in the 2nd spot off of some good numbers. Showed some speed, 2 back. I think that may be an interesting strategy today for the Dave Donk runner. And then Too Late Baby Doll in the 3rd spot. Numbers are maybe a little light, but in the 3rd start in the United States, this one might be interesting at a price. Off a couple of nice finishing positions. Again, the numbers were a little light, but finishing positions were okay. 13th and final, 2, 4, 7, and 10.
I agree. And this is one of my stronger feels of the day. I think Peak Hype, I would sign up for 7-2 right now, Seth. I think we'd be very fortunate to get this Austringer more than ready in his 2nd career start. So 2, 4, 12 in the finale.
All right. We'll wrap it up for the Handicappers Report. When we come back, Kelly Francois will join us. Saturday spot. She went out, got a little footage with Rob Atras, so we'll see that. I had a little footage in the winner's circle yesterday, again, after the DQ. We'll play that as well. And a little bit later on, Tim Wilkin is in the house. He's obviously been bouncing around the backstretch throughout the meet, but the week leading up to the Whitney for TDN. So we'll have Tim as well. All of that in just a couple of minutes, racing across America.
All right. Have a great Whitney Day, everybody.
This has been the Handicappers Report, brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier online wagering site in New York State. CapitalOTBBet.com. Sign up today. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.